Hello! Today's video is another deep talk one because I got asked on how to be self-confident while wearing Lolita or any other alternative fashions or having a lot of piercing or tattoos or pretty much anything that separates you from the general public. This goes to everywhere and not just my fellow Lolitas. And the second part is how to deal with people reacting to you. Because when you wear Lolita or other kind of alternative fashions, people will notice you more than if you wore kind of basic general clothing, because they're not used to it. So the thing that you have to remember is that they are allowed to look, because if you saw a dragon walking down the street, of course you would look. It's a fucking dragon! So people are allowed to look at you, but they are not allowed to touch you or touch your clothing or your wig, or they are not allowed to make any kind of rude comments. You don't have to take any of that, but they are allowed to look. So I advise you to not be offended by looks, because it is just probably the first time that that kind of person has seen something like you, so they are kind of bewildered, like, does that exist? I didn't know that. So not all looks are bad, even though they might look confused. So let's begin. And the first tip I have to make it easier is to have a friend. And for example, if you're going shopping, if you have a friend or friends there, then you're of course talking to them, like where you want to eat, what kind of things you're looking for when you go shopping and stuff like that. So they are distracting you from the curious onlookers. So even though if they don't wear any kind of weird clothes, they are there to help distract you. And if they do wear something out of the ordinary as well, that also helps, because then the attention is divided by all of you and people are not just looking at you. But even if your friends wear normal clothes, they are still a big help to you. And if you don't have friends that day, for example, if they are at work and you still want to go someplace, then a thing that you can do is talk on your phone with someone, but not like, oh my god, I'm here, they're looking at me, what do I do? But instead just talk about your day, or talk about a movie you're going to see, or anything, again, to distract yourself from the attention. And if you don't want to talk on your phone, you can either listen to some music or a podcast, or generally have something to distract you. And another thing is that because you will be looked at, you will get the attention, then try to think of it as positive attention. Like people thinking, oh my god, I've never seen that before, I didn't know that was a thing, maybe I would look good in it, or something like that. And instead of every person looking at you, you're thinking that they're judging you and you look weird and awful and think of it as positive attention. And if people are rude to you, then I'd like to say don't be rude back, but sometimes it's hard. For example, another day I was grocery shopping, I was looking at bananas, deciding which pair I wanted. So I was just looking at the bananas, thinking weird things to myself. And mind you, I'm only wearing dark clothes and brown lipstick. I didn't have like red contacts, or I didn't even have a wig. I just wore darker clothes. And then a lady with her shopping cart had a small child sitting there, and she was me like, stop scaring my child, like all affronted and scared herself. And I just looked over and I was like, excuse me? And I looked at the child and he's just looking bored, not clearly scared. And I didn't even know how to react to that. So I was like, okay, I just took some bananas and walked off. But luckily here in Finland, small talk doesn't exist. We don't chit chat, we don't talk to strangers. So if there are a lot of us, if there's a meetup, then people are more easily, they come and ask, oh, are you in a play? Oh, what is this? Oh, you look so pretty. And things like that. But when you're alone, then people don't really talk to you because we don't talk to strangers here. So the bar to say something rude is much higher than other places where people are actually social beings and talk to each other. But I have had my share of mean comments and rude things both in Lolita and in just my everyday outfits, which are kind of punk rock goth-ish. Especially when I had my blue hair. It's purple now, but when it was blue, my god, I got attention. People are not used to blue hair here. To be honest, I don't really notice people looking at me anymore because over the years and years I have become accustomed to it, and when I wear gothic Lolita I actually get sometimes less comments than I did with a punk outfit and blue hair. So this is good for me. The easiest thing to be self-confident while walking in the great white world looking the way you do is, it sounds so simple, but it's not. But it is to be confident about yourself. You're wearing the clothes because you like them. You're making a statement because you like it. And when you have something that you think you look good in, that you are proud of, then it is a lot easier to have good self-confidence, so that if some stranger in the bus sitting next to you kind of snickers at you and looks you funny and like, hey, you look different, then it's a lot easier to kind of keep your head high and be like, yes, I do. I look different. And that's it. That's my business, not yours. And it sounds so simple, but it's not. Let's take an example. If you are new to wearing some alternative fashion, then it's easy to think that if you kind of ease into it, then it's easier, and it can be. But also, if you really want to wear, let's say, a really printed JSK, but instead you opt for a plainer skirt and a weird top that still look more toned down than the dress you wanted to wear, and when you're walking in public and you hear people kind of talking behind their hand and, oh, look at that skirt, she looks so weird, how can she dress like that? Then you have a little voice in the back of your head thinking, oh my god, I shouldn't have worn this, why did I wear this is not fun. And that voice is there because you shouldn't have worn the skirt, you should have worn the dress that you wanted to wear. Because if you think that it looks good, that you're happy with it, that you are content with it, then it's a lot easier to take those kind of looks and comments. And the fact is that there are some people in the earth who have made their life career choice to be evil and rude and bitchy, and there's nothing we can do about that. And I know that you know a couple of those people. Those people want to ruin people's days because they are having a bad day. So it's a good thing to remember that if someone is rude to you, then it is probably not because of you, it's because of them. And that is another thing to kind of help you get in the positive mindset of things. And when the days go by, the months go by, the years go by, at this point I don't really even notice if people are looking at me, and if people say rude things to me, then I'm kind of like, I don't care. They said something to me and I listen to it, and it doesn't affect me, because if they tell me I would look prettier in something else, that's their opinion. They can have that opinion, but also I can disagree with it and keep looking the way I look. And I know that it doesn't sound easy, and it probably is not, but the thing is to just keep going with it, and if you really love the things that you do, it shows and you won't get that kind of attention anymore. I'm sorry if this wasn't very informative. I had made a lot of notes and I tried to explain them, but when I explain them they don't... It's hard to explain these kind of things. Okay, I've been standing here for over an hour, rambling to myself, and it is getting hot because I'm wearing the last outfit for my spring Lolita lookbook. I'm wearing fur and shit and it's hot in here. The lookbook will be up next Wednesday probably, so yay! Those have been requested, so here you go. But to sum up this very rambly video, the thing to keep yourself from noticing the attention you're getting is to have a friend, or otherwise occupy yourself, and when you do get attention, try to take it as positive, and if people are rude, ignore them, and once time goes by it gets easier and easier, and there is no special trick to it. And I know that some things can be really hurtful when people say them, but if you are deciding to wear something alternative that makes you stand out from the crowd, then you will get attention, and that is a fact of this life that we live in. And I hope that this video has been of some help, some advice, and if you have some other tips you would like to share with anyone, please leave them down below, or if you have any kind of stories to share, then please leave them down below, or if you have any kind of questions or requests for future videos, I will be making the what is Lolita fashion kind of video to help your parents or friends understand what this thing here is. That's coming up someday, and I will talk to you again next Wednesday.